I have had a good week. I've had what I call an extraordinary week, and I'll tell you why shortly. Yes, I am indeed. I am blessed too. Thank you. I am blessed in most definitely. I am blessed in more ways than one. I'm blessed, and you too. Not possible, really. What's not possible, Lara? Not possible, really. Oh, right. You're answering the question. Oh, okay. Yeah. Not possible. Not possible. Well, I don't necessarily agree it's not possible. I can't say I entirely agree it's not possible. But I think we need to consider what it entails. And are you ready in terms of, okay, let's start. Well, today, hi everybody, this is YJ. And today I'd like to talk about the extraordinary getting rich quick. What prompted this conversation? That's the good question. Well, initially, I really wasn't going to talk about this week. But something happened to me earlier this week, and that wasn't what prompted me to talk about this. It was just something good. Right now, I'm on a break. I've been doing some training, and I've really enjoyed the training, and I've graduated, and I've done well, and the training has ended. But in ending, it also meant that right now I don't have a job that I'm doing, and I am still developing my business and stuff like that. So I haven't really been able to put as much effort into it as I needed to because I've been doing this training. And I was thinking, I reached that point where often we get to as entrepreneurs and as people in general, where the money coming in was definitely, according to calculations, going to be less than the money going. Thank you for the congrats. Thanks, Laura. The money coming in was definitely going to be less than the money going out because I have responsibilities beyond myself that I have to make sure I take care of every month. Whether I have money or not is not the issue. Those responsibilities, I've taken them on board and I need to take care of them. So I was sitting and I was at the stage where I was thinking to myself, wow, how am I going to manage? Yes, I need to get on with my business, but I have to be realistic as well. I have got these responsibilities. And I was about to enter that. I don't know if any of you have ever been in a situation where when you've done your calculations, you look at your responsibilities. I'm the kind of person that my responsibilities mean a lot for me to actually comply with. I need to fulfill them. I don't want to let people down. And I'd been here before, and I think we all get to the stage where we are dependent. We reach the stage where the money coming in is less than the money going out. And I was about to panic, and then I realized, hold on, YJ. You've been here before, and you trust in God. And I am a Christian if you didn't know, but yes, I trust in God. And I'm not a lazy person. So I sat down and I just calmed myself down, and I went through some very logical steps. One, I do trust in God, and I believe that He'll meet me at the point of my needs. That's one. Two, I'm equipped. I'm not a lazy person, and no work scares me. And even though I wanted to do my business full force, meeting those responsibilities are really, really important. And it was one of the things that I talked about last week was about Inky Johnson. He said he turned up because he remembered all those people who had turned up for him on his journey towards success, that he needed to always make sure that he turned up and gave it 100%. So I decided that my attitude was, whichever way, whether it meant that I had to get another activity or job, whether it meant that I had to wait and trust God, but I was not going to worry. I was not going to be scared. So I calmed down and I thought, okay, I've been here before. Let's start looking around for things to do. And I started with a calm spirit. And I started going about pushing out all the people who owe me money from all my business that I haven't collected. I put out my CV for other things. I put out a request that I'm a digital assistant, let me help you. And like on the second day, I was looking through and suddenly I got a text. And the text was like, oh, we're depositing this amount of money in your account. And I was just laughing. I was laughing because I said, you see, He always comes through. But had I been 10 years younger or 20 years younger, I wonder what I would have thought. And you see, that was something that I've been thinking about all week. And then my daughter and her friend, we all went out today, and they were telling me about a particular church somewhere. And in that church, they push you to the point of seeding, that you have to take loans, that you have to literally not steal, but you do a lot of things that really I'm not sure is so kosher. And then on top of that, I have started to delete from my email box anything that keeps pushing me to get rich. Now, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I believe that I will be rich. I want to be rich. Why? Because I want to help so many people. But you see, that mentality of riches quickly is the one that I'm worried about. I looked at my parents. My parents were diligent, hardworking, every day, get up at 5, get out. They were conscientious, they were responsible, they were diligent, they were smart, they were responsive. They did a lot of things that helped them build wealth. But they did not they didn't go after it to steal. Do you understand? And I find that in a lot of today's programs that are put out there, they will tell you, let me tell you how in 7 steps you can get rich. Let me tell you how you can have 10,000 income a month. They say it as if it's all instantaneous. They say it as if you just follow those steps and hey presto, it's going to happen. And I'm not saying it can't happen for the 1 or 2 people, but I'm saying that a lot of people, and especially in this instant snapshot life that we live in, where you only see a snapshot of somebody's life, he's sitting in his Maserati, or you see a picture of them in their mansion. That snapshot does not tell the full story. It doesn't tell you of the 10 or 15 years he had to work and maybe not buy anything. He had barely enough to feed himself and his family. The sacrifices his wife or his children had to make. It doesn't tell you all that. It just shows you that snapshot, as if instantly this person went to bed yesterday and woke up today full of wealth. And I'm fearful of this get rich quick idea, where it doesn't involve work and it involves some kind of magic formula, and then hey presto, you're rich. Because life is not like that. And for a lot of people nowadays, these emails keep popping in, and I've just started to delete them. I enrolled for them, don't get me wrong, because I wanted to understand how I could better move towards getting more income. And you should get more income. Even if I look at the woman in Proverbs 31, she is the first example for me, I don't know about you, of someone who had multiple streams of income. And they were sensible multiple streams of income. But be careful of rushing towards getting rich by all means, because they said, if you rush towards getting rich by all means, it leads to you doing things that are not necessarily good, that are not necessarily kind, and that can lead you to places you never imagined you would want to go. And so when I was eavesdropping on the girls talking about this particular organization, and they played a tape of a young girl saying that, basically her and her mentor, that was it. She was ready to give him her all. She was blah, blah, blah. It sent a chill through me that I thought today I would talk about get rich quick, right? No, it's not right like that. You are going to have to put in the time, put in the effort, put in the work. I read a statistic today that 3% of Americans are really, really rich. And I mean that kind of rich whereby you don't even need to look at the tag. Now, sure, I would love to be that rich. But I would only like to be that rich if it comes from the effort that I've put in. I don't want to harm people. I don't want to have to steal. I don't want to have to kill people. I don't want to have to be doing 419 fraud or loaning from people just to be rich. I want to know that the efforts, the work that I put in has yielded this. And if it doesn't yield it, then if I'm comfortable, I will be content. And that word contentment is like a dirty word these days. You're not supposed to be content. Excuse me. Contentment is not bad. It doesn't mean you don't aspire. It doesn't mean you're not inspired. It doesn't mean you don't have drive. But if you're not content and you're hungry for what other people have, where does it lead you? Where might it lead you? And we need to be careful how we pressure our kids as well. Because you see, when you put that kind of pressure, indirectly, we are responsible for wherever they go. I remember hearing a story, and it was a lady, her and her family had been poor, and her daughter went to Lagos at that time, and she was sending back money, and the girl came back with a car, and she came back with good clothes. The mother never once asked, my daughter, how are you getting this money? She wasn't interested because all she wanted was the money. And that, later on, when they found the source of the money, the misery it brought was terrible. So I want us to really think about what we're driving towards. Do you want to be rich in money? Then ask yourself, are you doing what it takes? And I mean, some of these rich people, those who have genuinely got their wealth from hard work, they are either very good at saving. Apparently, if you save 20% of your salary, and you invest it and hold it, in 32 years, and I know not many people are going to be willing to wait 32 years, you could become a millionaire. But as we know, in today's quick society, many people are not patient enough to do that. And also the society, with all its ups and downs right now, does not encourage that. Another way to get rich, apparently, is if you become a company senior executive. They get rich. But think about this very carefully. To become a company senior executive, most people have worked from the bottom of the firm, they've dedicated their life to working for that firm, and they've worked their way up to the top. They've done it through diligence, dedication, determination, and hard work. So the quick in there, I can't quite see it. The quick doesn't apply there. They had to do it diligently, through hard work, and being determined. Another way to get quick is by becoming a virtuoso. Now, to get wealthy, not quick, sorry. To get wealthy is to become a virtuoso. Now, what's a virtuoso? In simple terms, a virtuoso means that in your particular area of speciality, you're an expert. You know it really, really, really well. And therefore, you attract people to want to call you to speak, to rent your services as a consultation, or you just give it out. These are the things. Now, are you an expert in your area? And if you're an expert in your area, look, you actually have to have spent time, dedicated money to training yourself, to continually upgrading yourself in an area so that you will be worthy of being called an expert. How many people do I know actually are experts? The people who really do that kind of thing well are Americans, and I think some British, where they really get into the cocoa of the matter. They get so deep into a subject, they're like encyclopedias of it. But that's what experts do, and it doesn't just come unless you are a genius child. It doesn't just come like that. Now, the fourth way to become rich, obviously, is the dreamer entrepreneur, where you have a brilliant idea and you put all your energy, all your might, all your determination, all your money into building that idea or getting others to invest in that idea and making it happen. Look at Mr. Dyson, the guy who did the hoover. Man, I so admire that guy. He had determination, where people were probably looking at him and thinking, guy's mad. Who's going to buy that kind of hoover for that kind of price? But you know what? Who's laughing now? The guy persisted. Go back and check his story. It wasn't just done in a day. He persisted. He reinvented. He went over and over again. Gosh, the guy must have really believed in himself. And not only that, he had the staying power to keep trying, until, wow, he's now his product is everywhere. What I'm trying to tell everybody, or kind of talk to everybody about, is that, look, we all want to have money for one reason or another, whether it's to buy clothes or to help people. But the route to it is what worries me. This quick. I don't believe, if it's quick, you've got to be careful and you've got to examine yourself as to why it's so quick. Getting riches is a journey, and it requires determination, dedication, investment, whether in the business, whether in yourself, whether in a company. It requires you to give up your time and money, and invest it in yourself or in something. You have to be accommodating. You have to be smart. There's so many things that it takes to be rich in the right way. And you know what? If it's going to take me time, so be it. I look back at some of the older people, and I don't know if you're from the Nigerian culture, but when you ask an older person for money, they will kind of unwrap it and give you the money slowly, like they understand the value, they understand what it took to earn that money. And guess what? Most of them are rolling in it. And when I say rolling it, they are wealthy, but they are very simple, dignified people who understand the value of working to get that wealth. I am here thinking about, yes, I want to be rich, but I want to be the kind of rich whereby my money will affect people in the positive. I want to be rich in the sense that it's more than just about the pounds and pence, kobo and naira. Being rich is not just about money. I'm already rich in so many ways. That's the thing that people don't understand. Most people are rich already, but they don't get it. But unless they see that $1 million figure in the bank, they don't understand the value of richness. And if you're rich and all you have is money, you might find that it's a lonely place, because I've seen what money can do. Money can buy you clothes, it can buy you connections, it can buy you opportunities. Sometimes it can save your health, but most times it can't. But you will reach a junction where you realize money can't do nada for you. At that point, you will realize it's not just about having money. So be careful. I am saying this not only to you, but to myself. I do want to work hard and I do want to be rich because I want to touch the lives of people around me. But I must be very careful about how I decide to approach that process. And if I'm not ready to do the hard graft that it takes, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be smart. You should be smart. There are many ways you can invest to help your money generate. But all the people that you hear talking about, oh, they're making 10,000 now, blah, blah. True. They may well be making it. But ask them their backstory. Please don't just take it that they did it in a day. Ask them about their backstory. And then you will understand that they probably had failures. They probably had downtimes. They probably had times when they were really desperate. They probably had times where they probably fell flat on their face and thought, I'm never going to get there. But when it's your time, it's your time. And what I mean by that is, right now I've been working on different projects in different areas. And I keep thinking about Zoom and remembering Zoom I remember them being advertised well before they ever blew. It's about when you do all these things that you're doing, trying this out, learning about that, doing the other, it's because you are preparing. You are preparing for that time when it will be your time. And if you are ready, it will be that Zoom time for you. But if you're not ready, you'll get there, you'll Zoom, but maybe as quickly as it came, it will go. So I beg, if you're like me right now and you're listening about getting rich quick, I don't think there's a quickie way. It takes conscientiousness, it takes diligence, it takes determination, it takes hard work, it takes investment in yourself, in your product, in your people. It takes understanding that you have to give to receive. Some people are telling me that they have to go into debt. If something is going to take you into debt to get rich, then I think you need to question it. How can, a lot of the emails I get are, okay, how much can you invest over the next 3 months? And then the next question is, how much are you prepared to borrow to put towards you getting rich? Now that question worried me. I'm kind of thinking, you want me to get into debt because I want to get rich. How do the two calculate? Now, please, if you're out there and you have a different slant on this, please contact me and help me understand what I'm missing there. How would you invite me to get into debt? I know it's a risk thing, But you can't ask people who are already on a knife edge to risk so much just to make that big leap. It worries me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm risk averse. Maybe I don't take risk seriously. But somehow I don't think that's the way I want to do it. There's the risk of people investing in your company. That's different. When people decide through venture capitalists that you have a brilliant idea and they want to invest in your company and they're prepared to put that money in for some return, whether it be a share in a company or profits at a later date, that's fine. But the one where people will borrow and get themselves into debt in the hope that the next step they take will get them rich, I'm scared. I'm scared when I hear it. And I don't know if you're scared, or am I missing something? Am I missing something? Do I not understand what they're saying? Suggest it's speculative. I don't understand, Lara, speculative. If you have very little money and you borrow, and then this speculative goes belly up, what happens? Yeah, but how many people actually do risk assessment, Lara? How many people really understand what risk assessment is? How many? I don't think there are many people who really do a risk assessment. Their risk assessment is, okay, I'll borrow the money and I'm sure that in 3 months' time it will be okay. Think of the number of people who did risk assessment before COVID was ever called out, COVID. Look how many big companies who went belly up. And I'm shocked to the core that well-known companies who I thought must have a very good financial basis or to be able to call on assets in times of trouble are now saying they are closing down. What does that say about their financial foundation? I am shocked at the number of companies that were seeking loans during COVID because they said that they've reached their pinch point. What does that say? I don't think the risk assessments were well done. And in companies that usually you think, wow, these are obonge companies, these are companies that will stand the knocks. If those companies can't stand the knocks, then the average man needs to be more wary. I'm only saying what the investors say to the people. I know you're right, and they've said it to me. I agree with you, Lara. Investors do say you have to speculate. And yes, sometimes indeed you do have to take a risk. But the problem is most people do not understand calculating risk. I am a person who, if I tell you some of the crazy risks I took, there was a time when a particular property was in my possession and there was a trade-off of it needed a certain amount of money to be able to rescue it. And I did my calculation, but that calculation that I did took me sleepless days and nights over a 7, 8, 9, 10 day period. When I finally did it, I knew the risks and I went for it and it paid off. Now, how many people, Lara, in all sincerity, do those kinds of risk assessment? Most people don't do that. And when they jump in with 2 feet, it usually ends in tears for them. And I don't want to see too many people like that. I don't know, maybe we need to look at how to do a good risk assessment. I think maybe it's key. Yes, we're not meant to be risk averse. We are meant to invest, but most people are not doing sound risk assessments. The number of people in debt, the number of people who've gone all the way back to having to go into debt management is incredible. And I don't want to see people like that. I don't. I want to see them working hard and putting their money aside and building something. If they have £1,000 and they decide to invest 500, fine. But if they have £1,000 and they decide to invest 5,000 and they borrow 4,000, what does that say about their risk assessment, Lara? What does that say about the risk assessment? So I'm not going to labor on, but I think people need to really re-examine what it is they think about get rich quick. I am doing that right now. About the number of people that reach 1 billion, 3% in America. I don't know what the percentage is in anywhere else. But you see, it is possible, the credit card system. It is, but we say that. Lara is saying that the credit card system is part of the problem. I agree. I read somewhere in the Bible that it says, A borrower is a servant to the one who loans him money. That thing so hit me because it's so true. When someone lends you money, you become beholden to them. When you become beholden to them, you become gagged and you become bound. Because until you've paid it, you don't have a voice to say anything else. The credit card system is part of the problem, but we have the choice to use it wisely or to use it recklessly. And we as human beings, we really need to take servant of the lender. That's right. And when I heard it, it kind of hit me like this, and I realized, wow, I've got to be careful. I don't want to be servant of the lender. I want to be able to tell someone that I don't want to work for you because I don't like your ethics. I don't like your practice. I want to be able to live my life in this small house, if necessary, and be at peace. Do you know the number of people who I know who are wealthy who can't sleep at night? It does require education. So how do we educate? Because I can see a storm coming. I can see a storm coming whereby there are a lot of people who have saved and squirreled away that amount. They want to be wealthy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But please, when you're trying to be wealthy, be careful, risk assess, choose the right road. Because if you end up being the borrower to a lender who will tie you hand and foot, you may never surface again, and that's the truth of the matter. This topic came because of what I'm hearing about young people who are loaning themselves out to the eyeballs, who are putting themselves through fraudulent activities just to seed. Please, 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 if you want money, work for it, build for it, skill up for it, become an expert for it, think, dream for it, dream big ideas, but please, 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 don't do all these negative things for it, because it will only bind you hand and foot to people who are unscrupulous, and I don't want you or me to fall into their hands. So we need financial education. Yep, I think that's something that I need to think about for the future. It's been nice talking to you, everybody. I'm sorry if I've ranted on, but it just concerns me so much. I don't want people who we've lost respect for people who work hard, who work every day, who get up. I am so happy to have the parents I have who taught me the dignity of work, the dignity. Abby, God doesn't need money, you know? Yeah, know it clear. I'm so happy to have been brought up in a family where they've taught me that there's nothing wrong with working. You too, Laura, have a great week. And hopefully I will tap into your stream. Take care. So everybody, please, there's nothing wrong with working 9 to 5 diligently, honestly, putting your money away, saving it, and then choosing a proportion of it to invest. If you do that gradually over a period of time and you choose the investments right and you invest wisely, you can become rich. There are so many ways to do it diligently, smartly, and through hard work. Please think about this. If you have another perspective, please let me know. So this is YJ, Extraordinary. Get rich quick? Maybe not. Take care. Bye.